Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. Today we will be diving into the 1977 season. This was the last time the NFL played 14 games, as they adopted a 16-game schedule for the 1978 season. 1977 saw the return of the Dallas Cowboys to the top of the NFL food chain. They won the Super Bowl that year against a surprise opponent, the Denver Broncos. This was the Broncos' first ever playoff appearance, and they rode that all the way into the big game. Will these two teams be in contention for Imperialism 12? According to our rankings, absolutely yes. They come in respectively at 1 and 2. The Raiders, Rams, Dolphins, your usual suspects, make out the rest of the top 5. Looking at the bottom 5, the Green Bay Packers have slipped into these rankings. In their second season, the Seattle Seahawks have escaped them, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers remain rooted at the bottom. Their defense improved greatly this season, but their offense actually got worse. Let's see who's going to win Imperialism 1977. Here is our first spin of 1977, and look at that. It's going to land on the Buccaneers. The arrow goes east with a slight dip south, and that slight dip is going to take them into the Dolphins' territory. So right off the bat, our lowest ranked team is heading in to play a top 5 team. We weren't kidding about the improved Buccaneer defense. It's scoreless in the second quarter. Bob Greasy looks to throw. It's intercepted by Mike Washington, and off he goes. They can't quite get a hold of him. The Buccaneers have gone into Miami and lead 7-0. It is now 7-3 Bucs in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 10. The Dolphins trying to make a comeback here. The pass goes to Duriel Harris. He gets inside the 10-yard line. But it is now 4th down. Can the Bucs defense hold here? Greasy drops back, looks for his fullback Norm Bulash. That's a touchdown. And for the first time in the game, the Dolphins lead. They go ahead and tack another one on. The Bucs gave it a great run, keeping the Dolphins out of the end zone for over 3 quarters. But the Dolphins' talent prevails, and they win the game 17-7. So looking at the map here, as is usually the case, the state of Florida will turn aqua. The Buccaneers are the first team out, and the Dolphins move on. We're going to spin this wheel, and we're going to come up with the San Diego Chargers. Arrow's going to head southeast, so as is custom, the Chargers are going to expand into the state of Arizona. Well, if you ever play roulette, sometimes you know it lands on the same number twice. We get the Chargers again. The arrow goes southeast again. That's continual expansion into the state now of New Mexico. We're not going to hit the Chargers this time, but we may stay on the West Coast. This will just clip into the Raiders portion of the wheel. Arrow goes to the northwest. Proximity with the 49ers dictates that the Raiders will now travel to San Francisco and play their Northern California rivals. The 49ers hold on to a 4-point lead here in the third quarter. The handoff goes to Delvin Williams, gets around the edge, hurdles a tackler, breaks another tackle, and he is taking off. He is now past the 20-yard line. They are able to catch up to him finally at the 7. A 57-yard gain. It is now 1st and goal. Jim Plunkett drops back, throws it to Delvin Williams. He will get the touchdown through the air, giving the 49ers now a 24-13 lead entering the fourth quarter. Raiders are looking to mount a comeback. They are now 4th and 1 from the 16. The handoff goes to Mark Van Egan, gets the first down and more. Gets all the way into the end zone from that 4th and 1 situation. The Raiders have cut the lead down to 24-20. The 49ers have the ball again. They've been knocked back 2nd and 18 from their own 8-yard line. That's John Matuzak getting through for the safety. So now the Raiders are down 24-22, but they'll be getting the ball. After the free kick, they have it at the 30. The 49ers bring the defense forward. Stabler audibles into a pass play. Throws to Fred Biletnikoff. What a block from behind, and he is taking off. They're not able to get him down. He keeps going all the way down inside the 10-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Mark Van Egan, and he gets into the end zone. And just like that, the Raiders have scored 16 straight points, take the lead, hold the lead, win the game, 29-24, the fourth quarter comeback to win it. Looking at the map, nothing we haven't seen before. The 49ers and Raiders have matched up quite a bit in Imperialism in the past. It is the Raiders' turn to take over that territory. They expand their land and move on. Our next spin of the wheel will give us the Seattle Seahawks. They're always going to be in isolation to start things off. They go south, they'll grab the state of Oregon. They are no longer in isolation. We'll be getting a close call on the wheel this time. Between the Oilers and Vikings, it's just going to be the Vikings. Arrowhead south, that's going to be another expansion. The state of Iowa welcomes the Vikings. Another spin of the wheel will give us the New York Giants, the anti-isolation team. They head to the northeast. That's going to send them into the state of New York to play Buffalo. That's going to be the next game. So we've had a scoreless half in Imperialism before. We have yet to have a scoreless game. And the highlight you're seeing right now are the Buffalo Bills being allergic to scoring. This to win the game 3-0 in regulation. And the short kick is missed. We're going to overtime, tied at 0. Somebody might want to win this game, not sure. No, maybe not. Buffalo punting from inside the 50. It's blocked. Sure, why not? The Giants pick it up, so now they're going to have a chance to win. Nope, throw an interception. It's only right here now with 16 seconds left that Buffalo is going to take a shot at the end zone. This is Lou Picone. Wow, we almost had a scoreless overtime tie. Instead, Buffalo with a thrilling 6-0 overtime victory. Well, that was depressing. Let's just go ahead and give the Bills the Giants territory and see if we can't find a better game than this one going forward. Our next spin of the wheel is going to give us the Chicago Bears, just barely. And the arrow's going north, so we're getting another great traditional game here. Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers may be a bottom 5 team, but outside of Walter Payton, the Bears have nothing on offense. This is a Packer field goal in the first half. We have points in this game. It is 3-0. Now we're in the third quarter. The Packers on the doorstep of the end zone. They hand off to Barty Smith for a touchdown. He had a great overall game. 96 rushing, 62 receiving yards. And like we said, the Bears had nothing on offense. A bit of a snoozer again. 10-0. Packers win, defend their land. So looking at this map, the states of Illinois and Wisconsin will now merge into one and under the control of the Packers. I like defensive football, but a game with over 10 points would be welcome here. The wheel's going to land on the Seahawks. The arrow's going to take them southeast. So once again, they're not going to play. They're going to expand into the state of Nevada. Another wheel spin is going to keep us out west. That's going to hit the Chargers. Arrow is going to take them northeast. So this is interesting. The Broncos have not been called into action earlier than the 13th game of any Imperialism we've done to this point. Now in 1977, when they're actually really good, they're being called into action for Game 5. They will be hosting the Chargers. It's a closer score here, 10-6, but Denver's been in control the whole game. This pitch goes right to Otis Armstrong. Beats the defense, but gets caught right at the goal line. Next play, fullback Lonnie Perrin punches it in for the touchdown. The Broncos kept the Chargers at arm's length throughout the entire game. It's 17-6 here. Our final score is 24-13. So the Broncos get the early game, but they get the fairly easy victory. They're going to scoop up most of the southwestern corner of the U.S. and expand their land. 5 teams have now been eliminated. Next on the wheel are the Redskins. They go southwest into Virginia. Another spin of the wheel will give us the Lions. They're going to head southwest, expand into Indiana. Up next on the wheel will be the Cleveland Browns. Arrow's going to head southeast. So for the first time in a few seasons, we're actually going to get a Bengals-Browns matchup. Through various spins of the wheel, they've missed each other. So now they're going to play, and it's going to be in Cincinnati. The Browns trying a field goal here to tie things up in the first half. But instead, Brian Sipe picks up the ball and is able to outrun the Bengals for a touchdown. These fake field goals have gotten crazy. So instead of tying the game at 10, the Browns take a 14-10 lead. We're all the way into fourth quarter now, same score. The Bengals are driving from the Brown 29, play action. The crosser to Isaac Curtis. He gets it down inside the 10. The Bengals haven't been able to do anything though. It's 4th and goal, and the Browns bring the house and get to Anderson. We've had scoreless first halves, now we have a scoreless second half. The Browns take their 14-10 lead all the way to the final and a win. So, the state of Ohio split between the Bengals and Browns no more. The Browns will take over the state, expand their land, and continue along in 1977 imperialism. Another spin of the wheel is going to give us the Chargers maybe? No, that's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. Arrow goes to the northeast. That area is now occupied by the Green Bay Packers. Cardinals will travel to Lambeau Field. And they brought with them the aerial show. Jim Hart completely let it loose against this Packer defense with long touchdown pass after long touchdown pass. The Packers had no answer for the Cardinals. This was certainly not like playing the Bears. An easy victory for the Cardinals at Lambeau Field, 41-3. So the Cardinals were once the Chicago Cardinals. They now get to take over the state of Illinois as well as the state of Wisconsin. Moving along here, the wheel is going to give us the Broncos. Very popular this season. The arrow goes west. That's a photo finish. Look at that arrow. It is just bypassing that southern tip of Nevada, which would have hit the Seahawks territory. Instead, it's going to traverse all the way over to the Rams territory. So the Broncos, a good team, are facing a big challenge going to play the Rams. The Broncos got themselves in trouble in this game right from the opening kickoff. This is Rob Lytle. Ball is jarred loose by Larry Brooks. The Rams recover, get it to the 6-yard line. This turns into a field goal. But here on Denver's next drive, Craig Morton looking for Haven Moses. Overthrown and intercepted by Bill Simpson. They seem to have him at midfield, but nope, he just takes off, and he is going to get into the end zone. The Rams offense hasn't touched the ball yet, and already they lead 10-0. Sorry to say for Denver, things never got better. The final score of this game is 41-7. The Rams defeat the AFC champions from 1977 handily. Now, we mentioned that the Broncos played in Super Bowl 12, and they certainly did, but in that game, they turned the ball over 8 times and completed only 8 passes. A similar offensive performance took place in this game. That exceptional Orange Crush defense wasn't enough to carry them. So they are now off the map. The Rams, sitting there with a portion of Southern California, now own pretty much the southwestern corner of the United States. The AFC champions are out of imperialism. Who might be next? This wheel is going to land on the Eagles, and the arrow is going to take them to the northeast. So we're going to get a game, but unfortunately it's going to be involving the Buffalo Bills. Let's see if we can get more points in this one than we did in their last game. Eagles at Bills coming up right now. The Bills are indeed on the board, winning 14-7 in the fourth quarter. Facing 4th and 20, the Eagles Ron Jaworski throws to Harold Carmichael. That's incomplete. So it's Buffalo's ball. They're going to have a chance to either run the clock out or get a game-winning score. Joe Ferguson facing some pressure. Throws it to Bob Chandler, and it's intercepted. The Eagles are going to get the ball right back. Randy Logan making the pick. Can they take advantage? They're facing 4th down again. 4th and 14, in fact. Jaworski looks for Carmichael again, but he gets it this time. 1st down, Eagles, they're still in this game. It is now 2nd down. From the 35, Jaworski drops back. Looks to the other side of the field this time. That is a touchdown pass to receiver Charlie Smith. And the Eagles, they looked like they were up against it, but they have now tied the game at 14. Buffalo gets it back. Now they're looking for a different kind of game-winning score, a literal game-winning score, but it's intercepted again. Joe Ferguson, his 2nd, 4th quarter pick. John Sanders making the play this time. The Eagles are on the edge of field goal range, 33 seconds to go. Jaworski drops back, steps up, and takes off, and he's making some moves in the Buffalo secondary. A 20-yard run. They're going to try for this game-winning field goal. Horst Muhlman, we've seen him make him with the Bengals, and he makes him with the Eagles. The 4th quarter comeback is complete. The Eagles take this game 17-14. So the Northeast is starting to congeal just a little bit. The Eagles weren't a great team in 1977, but they're improving, and they're able to knock the Bills out of the game, taking over their land and expanding their territory. We revisit this wheel, and it will give us, it's close between the Browns and Cowboys, it'll be the Cowboys. Arrow goes northeast, that'll expand into Oklahoma. Next up on the wheel, it's close again, it's going to be the Redskins. They're going to go south into North Carolina. Up now on the wheel for a 3rd time this round, it'll be the Rams, and that arrow's going to the southeast. So, this is interesting. The Rams are up for the 2nd time. In their first game, they faced the AFC champion number 2 ranked Broncos. In their second game, they're facing the NFC NFL number 1 ranked Dallas Cowboys. In the first quarter, Dallas leads 3-0. The Rams have the ball just behind midfield. Handoff goes to John Cappelletti, breaks through the middle, breaks a tackle, gets an assist from receiver Billy Waddy, keeps going. That's a touchdown from 51 yards out. What a run. That will give the Rams a 7-3 lead. Now Dallas is going to be looking to strike back. From the 26-yard line, Roger Staubach drops back, fires to Drew Pearson, makes the catch in double coverage. Dallas gave up the lead but takes it right back, 10-7. And now here they have the ball again from the 43-yard line. In the 3rd quarter, the pitch goes to Tony Dorsett, gets around the end, gets past the 25, almost to the 20. The Cowboys continue this drive. They are now inside the 10-yard line. Staubach drops back, tries to dump it to Dorsett, and it's intercepted by Monty Jackson. What a huge play. Dallas gets the ball back, though. From their own 22, Staubach throws it to Drew Pearson. He takes off, and he fumbles. That ball is loose, jarred loose by Pat Thomas. The Rams recover. Cowboys shooting themselves in the foot. 3rd and 16 now, though. Can the Rams take advantage of these turnovers? Pat Hayden drops back, and coming off the corner blitz is Mel Renfro with the sack. The Rams get it back, though. No one's able to take advantage of any of this. From the 23, the handoff to Lawrence McCutcheon. Makes some moves, gets inside, a great tackle, stops him from going all the way. But on the next play here, the handoff will go back to Cappelletti. I don't know how he escaped all that, but he did. And now the Rams have retaken the lead. Every score in this game has changed the lead. 14-10. Dallas will be looking to make their comeback. From the Rams 26, dump off pass to fullback Robert Newhouse. He doesn't quite get in. It's 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, they're stuffed. 2nd and goal, stuffed. 3rd and goal, stuffed. Now it's 4th down. They lost yardage on every play. Staubach tries to squeeze it to Dorsett. It doesn't work. And the Rams go into Dallas and win this game by a final score of 14-10. So there's some stuff to sift through here. First of all, the Rams eliminate both the Broncos and the Cowboys. Those were the 2 Super Bowl competitors and the top 2 teams in our rankings. But now, Dallas had won a game in every single Imperialism to this point. This is their first ever one and done. The only team to accomplish that now are the Rams, and they did so by beating the Cowboys. 10 teams have now been eliminated, including some powerhouses. This lands on the Falcons, not necessarily a powerhouse. They go northeast, and they're going to expand into South Carolina and border somebody else other than a Florida team. Next up on the wheel, we gave it a nice big spin there. It will go to the St. Louis Cardinals. They will head to the northeast, right into the heart of the Lions territory. These 2 teams are about to get it on. After exchanging touchdowns on their opening possessions, this game is still tied at 7 in the 3rd quarter. Jim Hart faces the pressure but gets it off to Mel Gray, who does the rest. A trademark Cardinal long touchdown pass breaks the deadlock at 14-7. Now 17-7 in the 4th. The Lions are going to try to make a comeback here. Greg Landry kind of throws it up, and it's intercepted by Jeff Severson of the Cardinals. That's going to put this game away. The Cardinals travel to Detroit, come away with a 17-7 victory. The Cardinals join the Rams as teams who have won twice in 1977 Imperialism. And in doing so, they knock the Lions out, take over their territory, and are looking like the team in the Midwest. Back to the wheel we go, and it's going to be close, but it's going to land on our reigning Imperialism champion New England Patriots. Arrow goes slightly to the northeast. They're not going to play a game, they're going to be expanding. That is the state of New Hampshire. We'll try the wheel one more time, and we see that it's going to be landing on the New York Jets. Arrow's going to take them northwest directly into the heart of the Philadelphia Eagles territory. Jets at Eagles. The Jets scored first, but the Eagles scored often. Here they lead 31-3 in the 4th quarter. Ron Jaworski dumps it to fullback Mike Hogan for another Eagles touchdown. They really had their way with the Jets this entire game. 38-3 here, final score 44-3. The Jets were no match going into Philadelphia in this game. Looking at the map, not a big land pickup, but the Eagles will take out the rest of New Jersey and expand their land. We're starting to near the halfway point in 1977. This wheel lands on the Oakland Raiders. They're going to head southeast, and that's going to bring us yet another heavyweight matchup between top 5 teams. Raiders at Rams. The Rams carry a 16-7 lead into the 4th quarter. The pitch here goes to John Cappelletti, and he adds yet another touchdown to his 1977 ledger. The Rams extend the lead to 23-7. They will tack on a field goal before the end. The Rams rather handily defend their homeland against the Raiders with a score of 26-7. So what the Rams have been doing here has been pretty remarkable. They've already knocked out the number 1 and number 2 teams in our rankings. Now the Raiders came to town carrying the number 3 ranking, and the Rams took care of them as well. They claim the rest of California, and even at this early stage, might have to be looked upon as the favorite. Our next stop on this wheel is going to be not the Eagles, it'll be the LA Rams. Arrow's going to take them northeast so everyone can breathe a sigh of relief on the map. That's going to be an expansion into the state of Wyoming. We'll try the wheel one more time, and we're going to be getting the Miami Dolphins. The Arrow's going to take them north, so they're going to face their eternal Imperialism rival, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, earlier we said the Falcons weren't exactly a powerhouse, but here in 1977, they bring the Grits Blitz defense with them. Will that record-setting unit be enough to carry them to victory? It is that defense and running game that has given the Falcons a 21-10 lead here in the 4th. Claude Humphreys all over Bob Greasy, forces the interception to Ray Brown. He gets it, he breaks a tackle. They look like they've got him down at the 22-yard line, but he breaks free. One more block, and that's a touchdown. And the Falcons are taking care of business here. No questions asked. 28-10 lead, 28-10 victory. The Falcons knock the Dolphins, a top 5 team, out of Imperialism. So looking at this map now, the southeastern corner of the U.S., so commonly Aqua, turns Falcon black. The Falcons expand their land, move on in Imperialism, and the Rams are the only top 5 team in our rankings still remaining. We have now eliminated half of the NFL's teams in 1977. The wheel will select the Kansas City Chiefs. They will head east. So we're getting our normal Chiefs and Cardinals matchup here, but the land at stake is a lot more than just Missouri. The Cardinals lead 17-3 in the third, but face 3rd and 12 deep in their own territory. Jim Hart drops back the pass, fires deep to Mel Gray, and he's off to the races. Could this be yet another long Cardinals touchdown pass? Not quite, but it was still 71 yards, and it was followed up here immediately by this excellent Terry Metcalf touchdown run. So the Cardinals put their stamp on the game from this point forward. They lead 24-3. Our final is 38-3. The Chiefs stood no chance. So for the first time in this season's Imperialism, the Cardinals got to play at home. They won their other 2 games on the road. In winning this game, they will take the Chiefs off the map, claim the rest of Missouri, and they're looking like a possible contender going forward. We're in search of our next game. The wheel's going to help get us there. That will land on the Redskins. Arrow's going to go slightly to the northeast, and that's going to catch the end of Maryland there, which means we're going to get the Colts in the game for the first time. They'll be hosting Washington. The Colts lead 13-3 in the third quarter, looking to extend that lead. First and goal. Screen pass goes to Lydell Mitchell, and he gets it into the end zone. The Colts extend their lead to 20-3. Washington has an uphill battle, but they are climbing it. It's 20-9. They have the ball with a minute left in the game. Joe Theismann drops back, fires into the end zone. That is a diving touchdown catch. Amazing play there made by Frank Grant. Washington will try the onside kick. They can get this. We're going to have quite the finish, but it's recovered by Freddie Scott. Washington put up a fight in the fourth quarter, made up 13 of the 17 points they needed to, which wasn't enough. Colts win 20-16, and now the Colts will take Washington off the map, take over their territory, and expand their land. As we continue whittling down the competition, we go back to our wheel, and we see that it picks the Philadelphia Eagles. Arrow goes southwest, but that is going to catch the southeastern corner of western Pennsylvania. We're going to get the Battle of Pennsylvania, Eagles at Steelers. We're tied at 3 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles have it 3rd and 1. Handoff blown up by Mean Joe Green. That'll give the Steelers the ball back. Minute 23 to go, 3rd and long. Terry Bradshaw looks deep for Lynn Swann, incomplete. Tried to dive for it, couldn't get there, and they are going to be going for it. In a game where they've only scored 3 points, they're going to trust their offense. 4th and 13. Bradshaw drops back, looks for and finds Franco Harris. He gets the rest and a lot more. What a play there. Now with 45 seconds left, they're going to try to get the game winner here, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. Play action. They're going to try Swann deep again. Makes the diving catch with the electric slide behind it. Touchdown. Steelers, what a play. 10-3. That's going to be our final score. Northeast once again gives us a low-scoring, close thriller kind of game. So looking at the map here, the Eagles had picked up some land. The Steelers were making their first appearance. But with that first appearance, they will take the Eagles' land and expand their territory. We'll get an expansion with this first spin. The Rams are going to head east. They're going to take over the state of Arkansas. Next up, we have the Seahawks heading southeast. It's actually a little bit of a photo finish here. That catches the corner of Idaho, so the Seahawks will expand there. And now the wheel's going to give us the Cardinals, and the arrow's going to take them slightly northwest, and that's enough to hit the Vikings territory. So the Cardinals have had a good showing. This will be a huge test for them. The Cardinals are moving the ball early on in the game, but they're settling for field goals. That was the first one. This second one's a very short one. But both of them are made and they lead 6-0. They have the ball again. From the 36-yard line of Minnesota, the handoff goes to Wayne Morris. Up the middle, he gets around the defenders, continues to run, breaks a tackle, and gets into the end zone. That breaks the plane, literally and figuratively, for the Cardinals. They take a 13-0 lead. There's a little bit of time left in the first half. The Vikings have quickly moved the ball down to the 30-yard line. Fran Tarkenton looks for his main man there. That is Sammy White in the end zone. Touchdown. Over the outstretched defender, making the catch around the other defender, cutting the lead down to 13-7. The Cardinals, though, have the ball again. It's third down. Very late in the third quarter, Jim Hart is going to work the short passing game. Tight end J.V. Kane makes the catch, gets a lot of extra yards, picks up a big first down. Now in the fourth quarter, they've moved the ball to the 11-yard line. Jim Hart looks for Mel Gray, bodies the defender, makes the catch for the touchdown. The Cardinals' defense is able to take over from here. They add one more field goal. The Cardinals go into Minnesota and win this game 23-7. Looking at the map here, let's get this out of the way fairly quickly. The Cardinals continue to expand their land, this time at the expense of Imperialism's #1 ranked overall team over the years, the Minnesota Vikings. This Cardinal team in 1977 was a 500 team, but not on talent. That was more execution. They're coming together in this Imperialism, and they've made it to the final 10. There are still 4 teams who haven't seen the field, and 2 who haven't been heard from at all. Let's see how this top 10 shakes out. Might the wheel give us a team that hasn't played yet? Indeed, it gives us a team we haven't heard from at all, the Oilers. And their first task is to go northwest and have to play the Rams in Los Angeles. The Oilers are hanging in there, but the Rams have driven the ball down to the 10-yard line. It is third down. The pass is going to go to Billy Waddy, standing in front of the end zone by himself. That's a touchdown. The Rams will extend their lead to 16-7. But the Oilers won't be held down. They make their own drive down inside the 15. Dan Pastorini drops back, throws to Ken Burrow. Perfectly placed ball, nice catch. It's a touchdown. The extra point gets blocked, so it's 16-13. That could be huge as Houston has the ball again now. Looking to drive for the tie or for the win, but that's Cody Jones getting the strip sack. Ball is loose. The Rams fall on it. They now have it at the 7-yard line. It's second and goal. A field goal would be huge for the Oilers, but McCutcheon makes his moves and dives in for the touchdown. Houston put up a good fight, a lot more I think than a lot of people might have expected, but they do fall to the powerhouse Rams by a final score of 23-13. The Oilers are a year away from being pretty good. They're going to get Earl Campbell next year, but in the meantime, they still can't compete with a team like the Rams. It's a question about if anybody can compete with the Rams at this point. They will take over the rest of Texas, knocking the Oilers off the map and gently expanding their land. It's expansion time. Gonna run through a few here. That's the Patriots. They'll be heading northwest into Vermont. Now we have the Rams. They will go north into Montana. It will once again be the Rams. They will head northeast into Nebraska. And for a third straight spin, it's the Rams. And they will head southeast into Kansas. Not the Rams this time, but the Steelers. They'll head southwest. That's a photo finish. They're going to get West Virginia. It's going to be the Steelers barely once again. And they're going to go slightly southwest, and that's going to be into the Colts territory. The last time these two teams played, we got an absolute classic. Can they give it to us again? Steelers at Colts coming up next. The Colts are on the Steelers 20, up 14 in the third quarter. Burt Jones drops back the pass, finds Raymond Chester in the flat, and he takes it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. 28-7 Colts lead. And now for the Steelers' comeback. There was no comeback. This game was not like the last game. The Colts took control, held control, and won easily, 35-10. Looking at the map here now, the Steelers, this was kind of their off year during their dynasty. They weren't a bad team by any means, but the Colts take them off the map. And this right here is the Colts' kind of last hurrah in Baltimore. They stuck around for a little while longer, but they never really had a good team. Could this be the year that they take imperialism for the city of Baltimore? Just 8 teams now remain, and the wheel's going to select the Browns. Haven't seen them for a while. They're going southeast, and we're going to get to see the Colts again in back-to-back games at home. This time they'll be hosting Cleveland. Not much of a game, this one. Colts lead 28-0 in the third quarter. This pitch goes to Lydell Mitchell. He gets around everybody. He is untouched. Didn't have to make a move, nothing. 29 yards for the touchdown, giving the Colts a 35-0 dominant lead. It played out toward the end. The Colts win the game 42-9. So the Browns were no match for the Colts. The Colts will take over all of Ohio, expand their land, and continue playing on. There are still several teams we haven't heard from yet. The Colts are not one of those teams. The arrow is going to take them to the southwest, and they're going to be expanding into the state of Kentucky. We'll try again, see if we can get one of these newbies in there. Almost. That's just going to stick with the Falcons. The arrow is going to take them north. So they're going to get to play the Colts. This will be the Colts' 3rd consecutive home game. Can they keep it up against this ferocious Falcons defense? So far, so good. The Colts lead 12-3, but the Falcons are on the doorstep. Play action. Steve Bartkowski drops it off to fullback Woody Thompson for the touchdown. The Falcons finally get into the end zone. That'll reduce the lead to 12-9. Unfortunately, Falcons kicker Fred Steinfort misses the extra point. It stays 12-9. The Colts now have a field goal attempt. 31 yards out for Tony Linhart, and it's blocked. And the Falcons pick it up, and they're running it back. They get to the 44-45 yard line, but they can't do anything with it and are forced to punt. John James holds it too long, and it's tackled. The Colts will try another field goal. They're getting the ball back, but they're not doing anything with it. This is a long 50-yarder, and it's missed. The Falcons have life again. First down from the 39. Steve Bartkowski steps up in the pocket, just kind of flings it out, and it's intercepted by Norm Thompson. He's still on his feet, and he starts to take off, gets to just about midfield. Now the Colts are forced to punt, and the Falcons return the favor, taking the punter down. It is 4th down for the Falcons. Bartkowski gets swallowed whole. Atlanta doesn't want to win this game. It's the Colts' ball. Jim Bailey gets a strip sack of Burt Jones. It's picked up by Claude Humphrey. He runs. He's got the 15-yard line. They've got a hold of him, but he breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Falcons. They lean on their defense to score what is the game-winning touchdown. Falcons score 13 unanswered points in the second half, win the game 16-12. What a sloppy, thrilling mess that was. So, let's take a look at the map here. Just about the entire eastern seaboard now will fall to the Atlanta Falcons. The Baltimore Colts are done, and can this Falcon defense carry an otherwise so-so team to an Imperialism championship? We've got a few more expansions to get through here. The Patriots are called up first. They go northeast. That's going to be Maine. Next up are the Falcons. They also go northeast and take Connecticut. Falcons are going to be up again, just barely on that one. They go northeast and take Delaware. Up next will be the Rams. They'll head northwest and grab Utah. And the Rams are called up again. They're going to head east. So no more expansions. This is going to be a big game here. The Cardinals are going to host the Rams, and the winner will probably be the favorite to win it all. After a Rams touchdown makes it 21-7, the kickoff goes to Pat Tilley. Fred Dreyer jars the ball loose. The Rams pick it up, run it back inside the 10 and 5, tackle to the 3 on second down, play action pass, touchdown to Billy Waddy. The Cardinals just never got their footing in this game. The Rams took control, held on to it. 28-7 here. Final score, 34-14. The Cardinals had a great run, won a lot of great games, but unfortunately for them, they're gone from this map. The Rams win this game and are now sitting at the center of a bunch of teams that haven't played, and the Falcons, who only have half of a football team to speak of. The Rams are certainly the favorites. 4 more games and we'll have a champion for 1977. That just hits the Patriots on the wheel, hard to see with the double colors. They go west, and that's going to go into the Atlanta Falcons territory. So this is going to be for control of the east coast of the U.S. Patriots at Falcons. The Patriots lead 10-7 and have the ball inside the 5-yard line. Steve Grogan drops back the pass, throws the screen to Don Calhoun, who gets into the end zone. This was actually New England's first protracted drive of the game. They punch it in, take a 17-7 lead. Atlanta get the ball back, and Alfred Jenkins takes over. On 3 consecutive plays, makes great downfield gains, then gets the touchdown. If Atlanta's offense can play like this, they will be very tough to beat. But for Atlanta, that's kind of lightning in a bottle. 17-14, New England get it back. They drive it down to the 17-yard line. Don Calhoun on the sweep is able to get around the defense and score. Patriots extend their lead here in the fourth quarter to 24-14. Atlanta's offense had nothing left to give in this game. That's going to be our final score. The Patriots go on the road and beat the Falcons and take out the Grits Blitz defense. Looking at the map now, the Patriots, remember, are our defending, reigning 1976 champions of Imperialism. They're now major contenders in 77 as well. The entire eastern seaboard is theirs, and we are down to our final 4. We're set up for quite the finish here. The Patriots are going to be called into action here, potentially. Arrow takes them southwest, so they will not be in action. They will expand. The state of Tennessee joins the rest of the Patriots' land. We'll try this wheel again, and it's going to give us the Rams. Arrow's going to take them southeast, so they're actually going to hit the Saints' territory. Welcome to the game, New Orleans. They've done nothing. They've not expanded. They've not been attacked. But here they are in the final 4. Now this sets up the Rams as having to win 3 consecutive games from this point forward in order to be crowned champions. They're completely covering Seattle's land. Seattle and New England will not be able to play each other until the championship. So if the Rams want to win, this is game 1 of a 3-game series. They'll be in New Orleans. Well, round 1's proving not to be too much trouble here for the Rams. They lead 17-0 late in the first half. The pass goes to John Cappelletti. He is the end zone merchant for the Rams in 1977. 24-0 lead. They take that into halftime. Second half, nothing much happens. They score 6 points, win the game 30-0. So, congratulations, I guess, are in order to the Saints for making it to the Final 4. Of course, they didn't have to do anything to get there. But the state of Louisiana will finally fall into enemy hands. The Rams will take it over. As we mentioned, they're guaranteed to be in the next game. Will it be against Seattle, or will it be against New England? This spin of the wheel might answer that question. And indeed it will. That lands on the Seahawks. No need to spin the arrow. They're completely surrounded. They're going to go into LA and play the Rams. And now for the second consecutive season, the New England Patriots are going to play for the Imperialism Championship. But before we do that, let's get to business. Seahawks at Rams. Late in the first quarter, the Rams are in the midst of a long drive. They hand it off to Lawrence McCutcheon. He gets around right tackle, and he bullies his way past the safety and into the end zone. What a run. That caps off again a long drive and gives the Rams a 7-0 lead. Seattle's hanging in there. Here in the second quarter, it's still 7-0. From the 29, play action under much pressure. Jim Zorn gets it off to Steve Largent, but they only get a field goal. We're now in the second half. Still 7-3 Rams. The handoff goes to McCutcheon. He's been the one guy Seattle's had trouble with, and he takes off. Past the 50 and the 40, gets taken down for a 51-yard gain. And perhaps because he's too tired, this handoff goes to Cappelletti, and he fights off tackles. That took a while. He gets through, gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Just another touchdown for John Cappelletti here. The Rams lead 14-3. Don't do much more. Don't need to. Final score 14-6. Props to Seattle. They put up a good fight against this season's most dominant team in Imperialism. So here we have it. The Imperialism 12 championship game is set. It's going to be the Patriots, reigning champions, trying to become the third team to go back-to-back against the Rams, now making their 5th appearance in the championship game, looking to win their second title after capturing the 1968 title. All we have to do now is spin that wheel and see who's attacking and who's defending. And here is that spin. It is gonna go to the Rams. So that means the Rams will travel across the country from Los Angeles to Boston to play the Patriots. This has been a real-life Super Bowl matchup twice, but never as early as the 1970s. 1977's Imperialism Championship will now be decided. The Rams lead 3-0 in the first quarter and have the ball at the 5-yard line. Handoff goes to Lawrence McCutcheon. He drags his way into the end zone for the touchdown, and he has really come alive here late on. This is a 10-0 Ram lead now, 13-0 near the end of the first half. From back behind midfield, they hand off to McCutcheon again, and he is shot out of a cannon. They're going to try to catch him from behind, but he breaks the plane of the end zone, giving the Rams a 20-0 halftime lead. The Patriots are up against it, and it's going to be even worse now. From the 18, the handoff goes to McCutcheon, making some moves, getting around, gets in. 27-0 Los Angeles leads. Now the Patriots are going to try to fight back here. They get it down to the 3-yard line. We have a rollout by Steve Grogan, finds his running back Don Calhoun, while under immense pressure. If nothing else, they're now on the board. They went for 2 and didn't get it, so it's 27-6. Late in the third quarter, the Rams are looking to strike again. Play action to McCutcheon, that draws him in. The pass goes to Dwight Scales in for the injured Billy Waddy. Dives, extends past the line. 34-6. The game went back and forth from here. The Rams were never in danger, especially after jumping out to a big lead. 37-19 is our final score. The Los Angeles Rams gave us the indication early on that they were going to be the favorites in this season's Imperialism. They lived up to the hype, took the field 8 times, and won all 8 games. Now, this Rams team during the 70s won 99 games. The only teams that won more made multiple Super Bowl appearances. They just had problems in the playoffs. This season's Imperialism posed no such problem. They take over the United States of America and win their second Imperialism Championship. These two teams that competed in Super Bowl 12, the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos, were both eliminated in Imperialism by the same team, our Imperialism 12 champion, the Los Angeles Rams. The Patriots made it to the title game for a second straight season, again doing so by only winning one prior game, but they got there. They weren't able to win it this time. We're going to take a look at the 77 Rams roster, starting with the offense. This backfield here, Lawrence McCutcheon, John Cappelletti, heck, they got Wendell Tyler sitting on the bench. These guys running behind this offensive line led by guard Tom Mack was the engine that carried this offense to the championship. Now let's take a look at the defense. And we're past the days of the fearsome foursome, but this is an excellent line right here. Jack Youngblood, himself a Hall of Famer. Larry Brooks, Cody Jones, perennially underrated. And Fred Dreyer makes a nice bookend as well. Great linebacking core, Isaiah Robertson, great secondary. This was a total team. The Rams were an excellent group, and they deserved this championship. We did have some low-scoring games in 1977, especially that near overtime scoreless tie between the Bills and the Giants. It picked up as we went along. Some games were closer than others. The second half of games provided some excellent drama, right down to the end, where the Rams won the final 3 of their 8 games, including that championship victory over New England. No surprise seeing the Rams on top. They did go 8-0, doubling anyone else's win total. But it's nice to see a team like the Cardinals in second place in 1977 with their 4-1 record, only eventually losing to the Rams. We take a look at the top of the third column there. The Cowboys, 0-1, the first ever one and done, and they did it in a season where they won the Super Bowl. The Rams now are the only team to win a game in each of the imperialisms that we have done to this point. And with those 8 wins, the Rams catapult themselves into second place in the overall standings. They have as many wins as the Cowboys, but since they have 1 fewer loss, we rank them ahead. The Vikings still barely holding on with their 30 overall victories. The Chargers now fall to the bottom of the list when we discount the Bucs and the Seahawks only being 2-year-old franchises. We simply cannot thank you enough for showing us the support that you have by getting this far into the video. Please hit that like button, share it with others, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the bell icon for notifications. If you're watching this video as it comes out, we have every imperialism to this point already linked below, and we'll be having 1978s ready in a few days. If you're watching at some point in the future, everything we have done to this date has been posted as well. We'll take one last look at this map of the United States that is dominated by the LA Rams as they dominated on the field. Thank you all so very much. We look forward to seeing you again. Have a great day.